What's up, my little gem babies? As you might have guessed, I'm going to pick a card for you. And by a card, I mean several, but you have to pick between number 1 and number 2. Which card is for you? All right, let's get this show on the road. I feel like most Geminis are probably cringing at how not cool and smooth I am and how tongue-tied I am, but anyway, here's your reading all the same. This is for group number 1. Ooh, all right, not a bad end. Okay, not so bad for you, Gemini. All right, group 1, Geminis. We start with the 2 of Swords, and this is how your February is going to begin. 2 of Swords inverted, crossed by 9 of Swords. So this is saying that you're kind of up at night with the decision that you have to make. You're not really sure how to proceed, how to go forward with something. And then we see 10 of Wands crossed by 4 of Pentacles. So you realize you have to work really hard towards a goal of yours, but you're not totally happy about it because the requirements to do so are very tedious, and maybe you're like not into it. So it's ending up in the Lovers and the Devil cards. So this looks like it's going into a saucy, maybe chaotic, maybe sexually potent though toxic partnership of some kind. Which I think a Gemini loves, honestly. That's, I think, what Geminis love. But, okay, so I'm pulling a little bit more about what your exact obstacle is about. Like, so here we have the 2 of Swords inverted, crossed by the 9 of Swords. So 2 of Swords is a card of indecision. You're like, should I go this way or that way? You're trying to weigh the swords intellectually. And the swords are basically decisions, points you're making, directions to go. So you're like, okay, should I move back home with my parents while I go to school and while I figure A, B, and C out? Or should I stay another year just doing what I'm doing at work and then save up and then go to this other school? Let's say it's something like that. But you're like, I don't know what is better. You're like at odds with yourself and you're thinking about it too much. You're like in your head too much. Very Gemini, you know, you're playing both sides. You can imagine yourself in any situation, and it's making it hard for you to make a decision going forward. And the 9 of Swords is the Nightmare card. It's like keeping you up at night. So that becoming the 10 of Wands is like, you're gonna just start working towards something, and you realize that it takes a lot. It just takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of everyday crossing the T's, dotting the I's, all the mundane, tedious details that you have to do to go forward. And then on top of that, I have 8 of Swords, inverted, Cage of Anxieties, along with the Prince of Cups on top. So I think that this saucy romance that you're going to enter really comes from a place of ultimately just being tired of the things that you have to do, and you're looking for basically a distraction. So I see you gallivanting into wonderful distractions that are totally chaotic, totally sexy, and dangerous. So, I mean, you'll probably be okay, but I just see that I would this month monitor your attractions or what is like stealing away your attention, because it might just be a way to escape the things that you don't want to deal with, because the things that you don't want to deal with are about your greater future, and they take a lot of time and energy. So I'm going to pull another card for you just to get a little bit more on that. We have the Magician. So the Magician is just to feel totally in control of your life by looking at what's actually on the table and saying like, okay, these are my options. This is how I'm going to exert my free will over my environment and the world around me. How do I actually want to get ahead? And how do my actions, thoughts, beliefs and emotions affect my everyday happenings. So that over a long period of time can really make something happen if I wanted it to. Where am I just giving my energy away? I think that this little fling of sorts, definitely fun, definitely a life lesson. That's always great, right? But ultimately, I don't think it really has to do with what you should be focusing on. But you don't want to focus on what you should be focusing on, because it's boring and annoying and stressful and it takes a lot of work. So I think that this month will be a little bit trying for you, but there's definitely like a little sexy island within it, but maybe not built to last, you know? It's the combustible flame there. All right, well, very short, but let's keep it simple. That's your Gemini reading for group number 1. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, help me out. Thank you. Oh, hi, group number 2. Here I am, waiting for you. I'm going to pull you some cards for your February 2020. Let's see what's happening. Wait, all right. All right, group number 2, Gemini, starting off very different. That's more than enough, probably, but I want to pull another one. Okay. You know, this is why I'm doing the 2 for each sign. And if you haven't already checked or cross-watched your rising or your moon or your Venus or anything else, I would check it out, because we're all such complex beings. And this reading already is so different than the first Gemini reading, but let's see what happens. Starting off with the Knight of Coins. So February for you is going to be very focused, very driven on like making things happen, making that money, making that project, whatever it is. You're like, I need to move forward with this stuff. And Justice crossed by Judgment. Okay, so this I think is a really good time for you to make sure that you're following procedure, so to speak. So let's say you're an independent contractor. I would say like revising your contracts. Like so let's say that you have a landscaping business or something like that. It's time to revisit how much you're actually offering, revisiting how you spend your money, how you organize your business, maybe even updating your website, stuff like that. Like really coming clean with the terms of services and how you offer your energy, just to make it a little more streamlined while you're in your flow. So there's like a little bit of a hustle energy here, and you're renegotiating this month how to present yourself in a elated quality that will give you just an easier time as you go forward. And then we're seeing the Ace of Wands inverted next to the Hierophant inverted. So basically it's saying that through your social experiences, you might find that there's new passions awakening in you. And then we have the Ace of Swords inverted. So yeah, something about like you like at times compromising how you really feel and think about things to make nice with those around you, whether it's professional, social, romantic, whatever. And it's starting to spark some growth within you, and also leaning towards inner discipline. And then we have the King of Cups along with the Hermit. So I'm going to say that there's probably some positive mentor influence here, somebody who's older, compassionate, and who's offering you their wisdom. So this could be anything from at work, maybe listening to your elders, like the people that where you work with that have been there for longer, that have different tips and tricks. maybe in your relationships, getting advice from someone who's older and calmer and wiser and compassionate. Definitely looking to bond with a benevolent person who's had their experiences and now has wisdom to offer, especially as you're going forward and you're trying to refine how you present what you're doing. Again, as far as contracts or again, like just however you're making your exchanges as you're getting your money, and just like updating in a clean line how that really looks. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you have an amazing February. It looks like you're really allowing yourself to grow this month. You're focused on making things happen, and now you're open to taking in new insights and like upping your game and how you deliver what you do so that you can keep going and like level up. That's pretty good. So if you liked this reading, please like this video and share, subscribe, comment. Tell me what kind of things you want to see in future pick a card readings. Thank you for listening.